voice modulation, I think it's more on I don't know which parts I need to improve. Either it is the I mean, like the specific part, it is the pace or the pitch, tonality, or like the pauses, the volume. When we come exactly at that words and we need to emphasize them more, I mean, the important words, how should we prepare it, coach? I mean, like, is it like a unconscious thing because we do practice a lot so that we can just, like be used to it? Or is there any practice to
Okay.
be good at emphasizing words?
So your question was that apart from story, I don't come up with any content.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know what to say apart from story.
Yeah, if I come up with any content, then it's not that powerful compared to when I tell stories.
When I talk about story, yes.
Yeah.
So firstly, understand story itself is a powerful weapon for the speaker. Okay. Now, when we talk about, okay, I don't have anything apart from story, it's about you consuming more content.
Okay.
Because if my water is full, the bottle is full, I can pour out of it. If this is empty, I cannot pour out of it, right? So it's very important that you consume more. Now today the topics that I'm giving you are very generic because your area of niche, your area of expertise are different.
Yeah.
Right? But tomorrow, out of the training, you're not going to talk about any random topics. You're going to talk about your expertise. Agree? I cannot ask the developer to talk about what is biology and do the heart surgery. I cannot ask the doctor to do the coding. So everyone are going to talk about their own expertise. Understand?
Yeah.
So what you have to do is become so good at it. Anything that you are going to do in upcoming days, become good at it, know more about it. Along with that, you add a story, there is a weightage.
I see.
Okay. So now, right now, since it is a generic topic, maybe you're finding it difficult.
Yeah.
Okay. So make sure that you are just consuming. And story gives a lot of weightage. That's it.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, when you present yourself in front of people, activities, questions, conversation. Now, say for example, you are my friend, and you sit in a cafe. Maybe you had some plan in your mind. Okay, I'm gonna tell Sujata this, and this. You told me. I told okay, that's it. Maybe after a while you will be out of the content, like what to say next. But at the same place, if you tell me something, I start having conversation with you. I said, oh wow, that's happened. You know what? The same thing happened with me. What's happening? The same topic can go for an hour also. Right? Agree?
Yeah.
So it's very important for you to understand that when you are on the stage, it's not just story, it's not just you, it's not just content, it's about conversation. You're asking your audience to engage, do some activities. Connecting you and audience and talking on the stage. The moment you and audience talk, it becomes easy for you to speak for long hours. Now to let audience to talk to you is not an easy task because you are stranger to the audience.
Yeah.
Okay. So to have that conversation with the audience will not open up firstly because they're not comfortable with you.
Yeah.
So initial few minutes you should take time to connect with the audience, crack some humors, connect with them, make them feel comfortable. Once these things are done, after that, whatever duration, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, they'll be engaged with you. They'll be open with you. They'll raise their hand because they know that you're not going to judge. They know that you're here to support. The first few seconds is to connect. Now, especially when you present yourself in front of CEOs, right? Most of the time you report to CEOs. Now, every time you speak to CEOs, See, they are number oriented people.
Yeah.
CEOs are somebody who are visual audience, to be very honest. Okay,
Usually.
they're not
Yeah.
even kinesthetic. They're not even what did I say? There are three types of
Audio.
audience: kinesthetic.
Auditory.
Their
Yeah.
intake styles are different: kinesthetic, auditory, and visual.
Auditory and visual.
CEOs are not kinesthetic. CEOs, see, they are human. They will connect, but they're very practical.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, they will connect. If you will tell stories, they will connect, but they're
Mm.
very practical, and they're
Mm.
number oriented people.
Mm.
So when you talk to them, it's important for you to talk with numbers.
Mm. Yeah.
So
They love numbers.
they love numbers.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So even if you connect that numbers also, even if you give that data oriented presentation,
Mm.
add a story. Now the story shouldn't be like a Harry Potter blah blah. No. The
Yeah.
story could be maybe a small incident that could be of the past client that you came across. So
Mm.
then you can even tell something like this, that the past client that we worked, and this was a target and this is what we did, and we just tweaked little strategies, and this is how the output, and we increase the numbers to this and this,
Mm.
right? So the same data can be presented in a presentable manner,
Mm.
right? In a story manner where people feel that okay,
Yeah.
so they remember. Now, if
Mm.
I tell that last month we made this, and this, we made this $16,000, and the very next month we dropped down to $14,000, whatever it is,
Mm.
they might remember. They'll be like, okay, why there is a change, blah blah. But when you add a story, when you tell that recently when we were working with certain clients, there
Mm.
was this was a strategy that we used and we increased the numbers. The moment
Mm.
we stopped working on that strategy, we thought that we should make little changes to again bring that numbers up. Suddenly
Mm.
we saw a huge drop down.
I see.
So now next time the CEO of the company or whomever you're presenting, he'll be like, okay, this client, what happened, because the numbers were down, what happened next? They'll come up with that. So add some slight incident
Mm.
that helps the person to remember those numbers as well.
Yeah.
That is how data oriented presentation should be given.
Got it. Got it. So storytelling in terms of data presenting, it's actually different from storyline, right? Because I mean, when we are presenting using PPT, we also have storyline, but in terms of storytelling that we discussed just now, it's actually adding like a slide, like a short story incident or anything like that, right?
Hmm, hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Got it, got it. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
That's the reason story a human likes it. Human
Mm.
was born hearing stories.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
from the bedtime story, now
yeah,
the WhatsApp story, the Facebook
yeah.
story, that's a different
Mm.
thing when we talk
Mm.
about digital thing. But
Mm.
every individual, I'm not sure how today's Gen Zs are brought up,
Yeah, that's
right?
right.
But we were we were brought up with the bedtime stories. We used to
Yeah,
sleep without, we cannot sleep without bedtime
yeah.
stories. So
Me
we as
too.
a human,
Yeah.
we're connected to stories. Why do you
Mm.
like movies? Why do people like watching movies? Because there
Mm.
is a stories,
Mm. Mm.
right? So that is where no matter if he's a CEO of the company, no matter he's having a lot of money, he's having good status in the society,
Mm.
he's human end of the day.
Yeah.
And he is connected to story.
Mm.
The only thing is the style of the story will change. The
Mm.
way the narration of the story will change.
Yeah.
But story connects everybody. So even if you have to give a technical presentation upcoming days, it is story.
Yeah.
Connect story, people will like it.
Mm.
When I was working in the corporate way, we used to have this town hall. My delivery manager used to come up. He used to open PPT and he used to share the numbers. I was like, it is just going top of my head. I couldn't
Mm.
understand anything. I don't even remember today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you tell story, adding slight emotion, changing your tonality, expressing, narrating is important. Telling
Mm.
story is not important. Narrating it is very important. Anything that you want to ask around this?
For voice modulation, I think it's more on I don't know which parts I need to improve. Either it is the
Hmm.
I mean like the specific part, it is the pace or the pitch,
Hmm.
tonality, or like
Hmm.
the pauses, the
Hmm. Hmm.
volume,
Hmm. I'll
or the
check your task
melody.
that you have sent me.
Yeah,
Firstly, I'll check and how is your improvement. I'll see. And now that we'll have practice, I'll have an idea that where you are standing right now in terms of voice.
yeah.
Okay. Any other question do you have?
I think it's more on like when we are talking, our sentence is actually something that we just think when we talk, right? I mean, so I know that there will be important words, but when we come exactly at that words and we need to emphasize them more, I mean, the important words, how should we prepare it, coach? I mean, like, is it like a unconscious thing because we do practice a lot so that we can just, like be used to it? Or is there any practice to
Okay.
be good
So,
at emphasizing words?
mhm. So when we this again this comes into this is a part of voice modulation
Yeah,
that
yeah.
right. So art of voice modulation, voice. So when we talk about this emphasizing part,
Mm.
this emphasizing part is like you don't plan. Now
Yeah,
we
yeah,
talk a
that's
lot.
right.
We talk a
Yeah,
lot. Now right
yeah,
now in last 1 minute I would have covered more than 200 500 words. Okay.
yeah. Mm-mm.
So I cannot tell that, okay, well, emphasize on this word, emphasize on this word. It's very difficult for a human to detect
Yeah,
like this.
yeah.
But it's about practice.
Mm.
Initially, I had the same question for my mentor that how do I emphasize, like which word to emphasize. But it's important for you to understand which word you want to emphasize and what you want to
Yeah.
convey your audience.
Mm, mm,
So, for example, whatever word that you emphasize, the meaning of it changes,
mm, mm,
the tone of it changes, the
mm,
way the person will understand will change.
mm,
Whatever you're going to emphasize.
mm,
For example, I say that Farah is the naughtiest girl in the class.
mm.
This is a sentence. I have not used any emphasis right now. I
Yeah.
just told that Farah is the naughtiest girl in the class. Now,
Mm.
if I emphasize on Farah is the naughtiest girl in the class, Farah is the naughtiest girl in the class. When I say Farah, I'm telling that out of Sujata, blah blah, then I'm emphasizing her name right now.
Yeah.
The people focus is on Farah, not on her nature, her character,
Yeah.
naughtiest.
Mm.
Because I emphasize in Farah right now. But if I
Mm.
say Farah is the naughtiest girl in the class, people focus is on
Yeah.
naughtiest.
Yeah.
So it's all about you that what your audience wants to, what your audience want, or what you want your audience to think about or take the meaning of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's it.
Mm,
Whatever
mm,
you word you emphasize, the meaning of it changes.
mm, mm,
The understanding, that's what we say, right? That I told the same thing, the other
mm,
person told the same thing,
mm.
but why does the person got offended by me?
Yeah.
I told the same thing, the other person told the same thing. What was the difference? Difference
Mm.
is this. You emphasize on different word, the other person emphasize on different word,
Yeah.
and your tonality changed, the other person tonality was different. There's a huge difference.
Yeah.
So it's all about your tone, it's all about your emphasizing. This comes with practice. Initial few days that I practice on my emphasizing part, I had consciously done this work, and now these things comes unconsciously.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Okay, so when
Yeah.
I say but it is important, when I say it is important,
Mm.
or when I say don't do this,
Yeah.
I can't be like don't do this. I'm like don't do this, which means that
Yeah.
I want the person not to do.
Yeah. Yeah. If I think about it, it's also related to our emotion, isn't it? Like, I mean, like, yeah, if our emotion is focused on, let's say, these important
Exactly.
words.
Yes, 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 yes. It's also about our emotion. And what I want audience to react for, like what
Yeah.
I want them to do. When I say
Mm-hmm.
don't do this, I want them not to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I say,
Oh.
when I say stop, it should be like stop eating this.
Mm-hmm.
To the person, I want the person to stop. No
Yeah.
matter. So I'm
Mm.
like emphasizing on certain words. So yes.
Mm. Yeah, 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 yeah. Got it, got it. Yeah.
Any
You're like a, you can answer all my questions or anyone's questions about public speaking. Anyway, coach, this is not related to voice modulation and also the storytelling. But just wondering, can I or we actually look at anything else besides the laptop or devices that we use in taking the video task when we do LMR? I mean, like because I usually like point my eyes to the laptop or cell phone because yeah, it's something that I usually do. But I mean, in the stage or in public speaking, in normal situation, not in the task mode, we there are so many audiences, right? So we look at them. So like instead of looking here, I look there. Can I do it?
So
Since
it's
the beginning,
when
I mean,
generally talking about standing on stage.
I mean, like in the video task.
Video task. Okay.
Yeah,
Video task, basically you're talking about how do I practice LMR.
yeah, yeah. That's right.
Okay. Now understand that right now you don't have stage. You have it stage every time you go to office, right? So I
Yeah.
think I've told you this as well, that every time you use LMR, whether it is laptop you're practicing, because sometimes you practice in front of me, and whether you are practicing recording your videos on
Mm-hmm.
phone. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have this space. Right now I'm here in the camera. I
Yeah.
have some space. So this is going to my middle audience. The laptop or my any gadget that is in front of
Uh,
me
yeah. Yeah.
are my middle audience. And left side and right side, whatever is there in front of me. Maybe I have a cupboard. Yeah, I have a refrigerator. I have sofa. I have my bookshelf. Whatever it is, they are my audience.
Mm.
I'm just gonna assume that they are my audience. They are human and they're listening to me.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 Okay. So I
Okay.
need to also assume that my laptop is an audience.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is your middle audience. This is a right audience. This is a left audience. That is
Yeah.
how
Okay.
I have practiced.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And
Okay.
I'll tell you, yes, 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 this is practice. And every time when you're recording, make sure you're keeping your phone little away. So you have too much of space here to move around.
Yeah.
Okay. So that try at least to move two steps this side and two steps this side.
Okay. Okay.
So moving on the stage is very important where you look you look effective speaker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now this is
Actually, being like just standing in one fixed position is not really comfortable.
right, exactly. It's not comfortable. And see, when you stand at one place, your body is already producing a lot of heat because of that nervous.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
one place, that body will start producing a lot of heat, and your hands and legs start shivering, and it is out of control. You can't do anything. Recently,
Oh,
when I was in one of the business conference meeting, I'll tell you, the
mm,
person is the head. He
mm,
is running the entire conference. Okay.
mm.
And the people who is sitting in the audience, I was also one of the I was a part of that entire conference. That was a business conference that was for entrepreneurs. So
Okay.
people who have company for the last 20 years, 25 years. Mine was a startup. Okay. So
Mm.
people has 5 years of now understand that all the CEOs of the company are assembled. I'm
Yeah,
also the CEO of the company because I have my own company right now.
yeah.
So everyone are assembled. The man is literally carrying the script. He's reading. He has so many scripts. I'll tell you, Farah. I'm not kidding. So many scripts. He's reading.
Uh,
Despite having this thickness of the sheets, his hands were shivering and it was like this.
uh,
What is the kind of impression the person has
yeah.
now? So it's very important that, see, that was a conference room. He cannot move because on the conference room, one, if there, it's a boardroom, okay? It's a boardroom
Mm,
and he is standing at one place. But if he didn't have space to move around because there were already three people in the panel who
mm.
were sitting, okay? Three of them were there. He couldn't move.
Yes, yes.
But if the three chairs wouldn't have, it was not there, he would have moved. And when you move on the stage, your body blood circulation happens.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this nervousness, the hand shaky things will reduce.
Mm,
Now you will come across all sort of situations.
mm, mm,
Sometimes you will have that space to move. Sometimes you'll not have that space to move.
mm. So what should we do if we
At
cannot
that time,
move?
you need to have control over your nerves. You need to know how to
Um,
tackle your nerves. You need to know that you're not gonna make sure that you're in your control. That is where we cover this chapter called as how to overcome your fear and nervousness.
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the person who's really nervous, he could have done some breath exercises, breathing exercises, or he could have done certain things.
Yeah.
He's not he's not used to being on the stage, or he might be nervous. He would have not done any. You see the Tony Robbins video that I sent you. He
Yeah.
does a lot of ritual. Despite
Mm,
being on the stage for last 30 years, he does lot of rituals like breathing exercises,
mm,
meditating, the vocal activities,
mm,
showering in the cold shower. People does that.
mm.
So as an individual, before you are on the stage, you have to do the certain activity and
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
having
Got it.
control. And just in case you don't have control over your body and you have space, move around.
Mm.
Okay, moving around is very important.
Okay. Got it.
The moment now you're learning LMR, right? The moment you will start becoming good at LMR and you start moving on the stage, you will feel the difference that oh, my hands are not shaky because I'm comfortable on stage. I'm walking around stage. It feels like
Mm,
home for you.
mm, mm,
Hmm.
mm. Okay.
Any other question?
Not yet for now.
Awesome.